Yeah, when I was getting my few hours of sleep, so I went to the TA truck stop. I had too much trauma about the Flying J, so I knew I was going to sleep at the TA or somewhere that the truckers are, just to feel happy that the truckers are safe. Especially because I knew it was going to start raining. So if it rains in the desert, it's usually, pretty bad everywhere because the desert's like nothing. So I was kind of laying at the TA truck stop trying to feel anything restful, but going up and down the stairs, 8 times or too many times like that, I felt like, okay, when you're sick, when you're just a sick person, you could use like a tranquilizer or a Valium over all kinds of shit. When you're dead, or when your insides are like weird death, you could use like shit that knocks out, monster, massive Bigfoots or something. And of course, I didn't have anything like that, so I took what I had and tried to put my powers in it and knock myself out. So some guy was like, she's always saying that she's snoring because of this or that reason. And I thought about what he said, and I was like, this time, I don't know. I made sure I knocked out. I did everything it took with my powers to knock my death out. I wanted to be knocked out. So by the time he was doing that, I was like, well, you get lucky this time, guy. I don't know why. Because everybody outside was saying that I was snoring. You know what's weird, though? I take a pee. Men want to follow me every time I take a piss. So I started by taking a pee for the love of power of the pee. So I don't never want to take a pee in front of people. I'm trying to take a pee incognito over in the dirt in the middle of nowhere. And they're so obsessed they try to catch me. Like it's a Bigfoot sighting or something. So I've gotten to where I just really want to find a bathroom, but when you can't hold it and you can't find the bathroom and you do the pee jar right there or something, that's about, what I had succumbed to. And I would just try to toss the pee jar into some dirt area, some little stupid area I could find. And they are sitting around. Like every time I dump my soda, or because sometimes I'll just have soda in a cup or too much water in my cup, or I love to get too much ice and a little bit of soda at like a Circle K or something. And I'm in love with Circle K's because you can get an extra large soda for 89 cents or and I'll dump stuff out of my cup and they'll wonder if it's the power pee. And they'll want to worship and stare at the cup and the fluid coming out of the cup in case it's the power of the pee. You're like, people. You can be weird as hell like this, or maybe my queen find out why the big obsession. Because there might be something cool as good people you can figure out to make the world a better place or something, not the obsession of the power of the pee. And why stare at the fact that my pee might come out of a pee jar? That doesn't make you a love potion or something. What is it with you people? But recently I found out that when I snore, after about 2 days, they want to be back where I'm snoring. You're like, okay. Everything with powers is mesmerizing. I remember that about Jesus. They committed suicide. They committed suicide when Jesus died and left the earth. They couldn't live without him. And it broke every God's heart. Because nobody thought people would get that attached to Jesus. And they did. People knew that you get that attached to God's, but didn't think it would happen with a saint or a Jesus. And yet it did. And God's had their hearts broken. They thought they'd be able to maneuver it, but it just wasn't maneuverable. And they just didn't want to live without Jesus. And when Jesus would take a pee, Mary Magdalene was very out beyond words about it. But of course, Jesus made sure nobody else would be around because, like, Mary Magdalene. But yeah, when Jesus would just cough or do something silly, they wouldn't do it in the beginning. But like after a week or so, they were so happy if he would like cough, anything, sneeze. And it's like, and you don't think about it back in the old days. You just really appreciate that Jesus is sneezing, and people have respect for, well, he has to sneeze, everybody has to sneeze. And sanitation wasn't easy back then. Bathrooms weren't like on every corner, so, and there wasn't hand sanitizer on every corner. You know, so you're just grateful that people don't seem bothered when he sneezes or like messes with his nose or something. They still want to sit on his lap, listen to his stories, and be happy around Jesus. And you don't think twice about it. But I have to admit, people, with me around, you guys are getting a little weird. Because, like, why aren't you guys thinking or saying, my queen, my queen, my queen? And finding out why the obsession with these things. Why the obsession? Why do you want to go back to somebody snoring? That's very abnormal. Nobody wants to go back to find somebody snoring. People can't even stand when their spouses snore too many times. All the time. So if you're that mesmerized that you want to find me after I've snored around you, well, wouldn't you want to figure out how to bottle it, turn it into a potion, and maybe make the world a better place or something? Not follow rest stops, truck stops, and wherever else I go, and lakes and stuff to figure out where to find me and hope I snore. It's been very weird down here. It's been very weird down here. You know, but I did notice that. I've only spit a couple of times, but boy, it happens too. No matter what I do. And they might get grossed out because I keep picking up my eyes. I do this a lot because my actual spiritual eyes are far bigger than this thing. So my actual spiritual eyes are really huge. So I like to do this and give my poor eyes spiritually more room. Are they real eyes? Is it real eyesight? No. It's a fun fabrication of my liquid identity stuff. So it's kind of fun, cool, creative stuff. But like these things are so narrow that you don't get to enjoy like actually looking and having an actual eyesight, because this stuff gets in the way. So you always want to move it so you can see. And people just get mesmerized. No matter what I do, after a while, they're just mesmerized. They get mad because you take a shower too much, not enough. You wash your hands too much, not enough. And then after a day or two, they're just mesmerized and want you to be around all the time doing it. And so I'm going to have a talk with everybody, because this is a good talk. This will get you guys more encouraged to be creative and build like fun things with it or something, because just staring is just weird. So hopefully this will help.